Dear students, loving Sairam. In today's lecture, we would be discussing the topics from the chapter Food, Where Does It Come From? So the outline for this lecture is as follows: the food variety, food sources and materials, edible parts of a plant. So let's begin. The components that we consume which provide nourishment to the body is called food. So daily we consume different kinds of food, and the basic purpose of consuming food is to provide nourishment to the body. For example, if you look here, we have food items like rice, roti, biscuits, fruits, vegetables, milk, curd, etc. Now, each of these food items has got a particular role in providing nourishment to the human body. Now, having seen what is food, now we need to know what are the materials needed to prepare a food item. So, we define the components or materials required to prepare a food item are called as the ingredients. So, ingredients mean what all items we would be requiring to make a particular type of food item. For example, few ingredients that we use in our daily life have been projected here. You can see the various ingredients. So once you go to the kitchen, you would be seeing all these kinds of ingredients that are there in your respective kitchens. Now, for example, if you want to make chapati, can you tell what are the ingredients required? We would be seeing that the wheat flour and water, these are the two main ingredients to prepare a chapati. Similarly, if you want to prepare tea or coffee, you know what are the ingredients that are required. For example, in preparing tea, the tea leaves are one of the components or the ingredients. We need water, we need milk, and we need sugar. So these are the four ingredients. So each of the food items would be requiring different kinds of ingredients. So as we desire to prepare a particular food item, so we need to carefully choose the ingredients that are required to prepare that particular food item. So we know that food comes in a variety of forms and different sources. There are various sources from which food is available to us. Now there are plant sources which provide us food, basically fruits and vegetables. There are also animal sources that provide a different kind of food. So few foods can be eaten directly, whereas few cooks we need to cook and then eat them. For example, if you see, fruits can be eaten directly. Most of the fruits that are available from the plant sources can be eaten directly, whereas some of the vegetables we need to take from the plant sources, we need to cut them, we need to prepare, and then we need to eat. So for example, sources that we need to cook and eat are like dal, curry, and etc. So we have dal, curry, roti. So these are the things that are to be cooked. For example, if you see things like fruits, so these need not be cooked. Once these are obtained from the plant sources, what we can do, we can wash them, clean them, and then directly consume them. So therefore, food items can be either obtained directly, or they can be consumed directly, or they can be cooked and consumed. So direct consumption of food and consumption after cooking a particular food item. So now we know. So these are the different sources of food coming from the plants. For example, fruits, vegetables, pulses, grains, etc. So these are the food items that would be obtained from plants. Similarly, if you look at the animal sources of food, we have milk, eggs, meat, and other dairy products that are the animal sources of food. Food variety. Now you can see here the various kinds of varieties of food that are listed here. So few of them you can see, these are the plant sources of food, and then if you look here carefully, so these are the animal sources of food. So while these remain the plant sources of food, these would be the animal sources of food. Now when you have a look here, you can quickly make out, so those food items that can be consumed directly from this particular figure, and those food items that need to be cooked and then consumed. So quickly you can have a look at this picture and then see which are the food items that are obtained from plants, which are the food items that are obtained from animals, and those food items that are obtained from plants or animals, what can be consumed directly and what can be consumed after cooking in a nice way. So all living beings need food. Different people have different choices of food. For example, based on the region from where you are coming, we are accustomed to a different kind of food. And different kinds of food that we eat, as we have discussed earlier, they provide nutrition to the body in a different way. But the basic purpose of having food is for physical growth. We see that whenever we are consuming food in right proportion and with right kind of nutrients and minerals, we can see the physical growth that happens to the body. So growth is one of the main purposes of having food, and beyond that we consume food to repair damaged tissues in a human body. For example, whenever there are few tissues that are damaged to a smaller extent in the human body, doctors recommend a particular type of food item so that the necessary nutrients, the necessary vitamins are given to the body. So therefore, growth is one reason, repair of tissues is another reason, and another reason is to provide immunity and protection against diseases and infection. This is very important in the current scenario because now we know whenever we go outside, we are scared that we might catch some kind of cold or virus. Now, it's always, we can never sit in the home and then try to prevent the virus. We need to go out for our work and then when we need to come back to the home. But what happens when we go out, if the immunity of the body is good, the virus, though it enters the body, it doesn't show much influence on the body and its functioning. But if the functioning or if the immunity, this is an important term, if the immunity of the body is not very strong, then what happens? Even small amounts of virus that enter the body, they make larger damage to the cells and tissues in the body. So therefore, to provide good amount of immunity, to provide right kind of immunity to the body, we need to consume particular kinds of food. Now, if a person does not get a balanced diet, now remember this term called balanced diet. If a person does not get a balanced diet, he is likely to fall ill. So what do we mean by a balanced diet? A diet consisting of a variety of different types of food and providing adequate amounts of the nutrients necessary for good health is called a balanced diet. So all kinds of food, so having a particular kind of food regularly or in more quantities may not be helpful. We need to choose food items that provide us with vitamins, carbohydrates, fats, minerals, proteins, etc. So those food items, a balanced diet is the one which includes all these kinds of inputs to the human body so that we are having a good diet, and then all the items or all the ingredients that we intake, all the parameters that we intake will be intact or they would be balanced. So more kind of fat, for example, if you take and then we don't take proteins, what happens? People suffer with obesity. So more kind of, so not only carbohydrates, we need fats, proteins, vitamins, minerals, different kinds of food so that the body is completely stable. So balanced diet is the one which includes, which has a balance, a good balance in all the items, in all the parameters that we intake. So now coming to sources of food, we would be seeing initially plants as a source of food, and after seeing what are the different sources of food that we obtain from the plants, we would be seeing what are the different kinds of sources of food we would be obtaining from the animals. So plant source is as a source of food. When we look at this, most of the plant parts such as leaves, flowers, roots, stems, etc., these are edible. Edible means what? Those that can be eatable from the plant. So few plants, the leaves of few plants can be eaten for good benefits. The flowers of plants can be eaten. Roots of particular type of plants can be eaten. Stems of particular type of plants can be included in our diet so that we get the necessary required inputs and the different kinds of proteins and vitamins we would be getting from each of these parts of a plant. So look at this now. Carrots, beetroot, radish. So these three, for example, these are some root vegetables. So the roots from the plant of carrot, beetroot and radish can be consumed. Similarly, spinach and cabbage. So these are the leafy vegetables. So the leaves from the spinach plant and cabbage plant can be eaten. Similarly, tomato, brinjal and lady's finger, these are fruit vegetables. The fruits from these plants can be eaten, but one should understand that every part of every plant is not consumable. There are some parts of a plant which could be poisonous also. So therefore, each plant has got a particular part of it which is called edible, that is, which can be consumed. So sometimes if without knowing, if we consume different parts of a plant, it could be toxic and it can cause different kinds of allergies. Next, plants provide us with vegetables. So these are the different things that we can obtain from plants: vegetables, coffee, cereals, pulses, fruits, sugar, spices, oil and etc. So by processing the parts, by obtaining the different parts of a plant and processing, we would be obtaining different kinds of things. For example, sugar is a processed part. Similarly, oil is obtained after processing the seeds of particular plants. So different parts of the plant provide different food materials. Now we would be seeing in detail how it is. So vegetables. So when you want vegetables from plants, so vegetables like beetroot, cauliflower, etc. are obtained from plants. So you can see the image of a beetroot here. So these are the vegetables that can be obtained from the plants, though few other parts of the beetroot plant also could be used for different purposes. Roots. So radish, what are the roots? Example for roots from plants, the edible parts of the plants like radish, carrot and beetroot. Again, these are examples of the roots that are eaten as vegetables. Now look at this carrot. Carrot is the root of the carrot plant, and the root can be consumed so that it gives a particular kind of nutrition to us. Similarly, stem of particular plants can also be consumed. Potato and ginger are the stems that are eaten as vegetables. For example, if you have a look at this potato and ginger, so these are the stems of the potato and ginger plant that can be consumed as edible parts. Next, leaves. Spinach and cabbage. So these are the leafy vegetables that can be obtained from a spinach plant and a cabbage plant. Similarly, flowers. Broccoli and cauliflower are the flowers eaten in the form of vegetables. So the vegetables like broccoli and cauliflower, these are the flowery part of the plant. Similarly, if you have a look at this, we have cucumbers. So different parts of the plant can be obtained and they can be consumed as a part of our diet. So this is the example of cauliflower. So cauliflower is the flowery part of the plant. Now let's go to fruits. We know different kinds of fruits that are obtained from the plant. So fruits are healthy source of food from plants. So most of the healthy part of the plants are the examples of fruits. So different fruits have got different vitamins in them. For example, oranges, they have got vitamin C. And then the roots of the plant, like for example, if you take carrot, they are rich in vitamin A. So orange, mango, apple, grapes these are some of the fruits consumed by humans, which means what we can say that these particular fruits of the plants are edible, which means they can be eaten. These are eatable parts of the plant. So various kinds of fruits are listed for you here. You can have a look at them. So different kinds of fruits provide with different kinds of nutrients to our body. Cereals and spices. Now, apart from obtaining and procuring the different parts of a plant, we need to add extra ingredients like cereals. For example, these include rice, wheat, maize, jowar, barley, etc. So, cereals are a rich source of nutrients provided by the plants. So, if you want to add more nutrient content to any particular item or dish, we should be including different kinds of cereals. And also to give a good taste, we add something called spices. Now in your day to day, we will be tasting lots of spices. For example, cinnamon, cardamom, pepper, cloves. So these are the different kinds of spices that are obtained so that they can be used as edible parts of those particular plants, and these are used for cooking purposes. So what happens? Cereals provide a rich source of nutrients to the item or the dish that we prepare, and spices give a good taste for the dishes that we prepare and consume. So these are the examples of different kinds of foods that are obtained from plants. So you can see examples of various kinds of cereals and pulses that are listed here. Some of the cereal grains you can see, some of the nuts we can see here. Similarly, tea and coffee. So these tea beans, the coffee beans, these are also extracted from the parts of coffee plant, and tea leaves are extracted from the parts of the tea plant. So coffee and tea are widely grown in the southern parts of India. For example, in Karnataka we know where we get more content of coffee and tea. In the coastal belt, that is towards near Chikmagalur, we will be having lot of coffee and tea plantation. So these are also obtained from the plants. Oil. So this is a processed product, which means what? Oil can be extracted. We need to extract and process this oil from the seeds and leaves of the plant. Now, the oil that is obtained, it can have different kinds of uses. One is for the cooking, we can use the oil. Second, for medicinal use is also there for oils. So you see in medical shops when we go and visit, so most of the medical shops, they sell particular kinds of oil for back pain, for similarly for cold and cough. So different kinds of oils are having medicinal uses also. They can be used in cooking also. So depending on the oil that is extracted, we can use it for either, if it is useful, we can use it for cooking, or it can have a medicinal value, etc. So some of the plants that produce oil are castor oil, mustard oil and sunflower oil. So these are the oils that are used basically for cooking. And when we go to temples, we see the wicks are soaked in mustard oil. Sometimes they soak these wicks in a particular oil so that the temple's lighting can be done. So different kinds of oils are used as for lighting purposes. For devotional purpose, we use different gingerly oil, we use mainly. Similarly, for cooking, we use sunflower oil, and then it has got medicinal benefits also. Different oils have got different uses and benefits. So these are the coffee beans. So the coffee powder that is obtained is after refining these coffee beans. So the coffee beans would be roasted and grinded, and the better part of it, which can be consumed, or the edible part of the coffee plant, is what comes as the coffee powder to us. So we have seen what are the different kinds of plant sources of food. Now we would be seeing what are the different kinds of animal sources of food. That is, the sources of food that are obtained from animals. For example, milk, eggs, meat and many other products, that is the dairy products that are obtained, like cheese, ghee and honey, these are all animal products. Honey is obtained from honeybees. it's an animal product. Ghee is a refined part of the milk. Cheese is a refined part of the milk. And then we have eggs that are obtained from animals and meat that is obtained from animals. Each of these has got a different nutritional value. Since animals depend on plants for their food, we can say that plants are called the primary sources of food. So sometimes we hear this word called primary sources of food. So most of the animals, what happens, they depend on plants for their growth and plants for their food. So what happens, plants can be considered as the primary source of food. So though there are some animals that consume the other animals, we will be discussing that part a bit later. But you should know that plants can also be called as the primary sources of food because most of the animals depend on plants for their sustenance. So animal products are also a rich source of nutrients. Let's see now. Let's take an example and see. So let's take the example of eggs. So chickens, pigeons, ducks, for example, these kind of animals would be giving eggs. And through eggs they reproduce. The reproduction happens and the outcome is an egg. And once the egg matures and breaks open, the new born would be emerging out of that. So chicken, pigeons, ducks, these particular animals would be giving eggs and meat. And egg is a rich source of protein and vitamin. So eggs contain lot of protein and vitamins in them. The yolk of the egg also contains vitamins, calcium, iron. So these are the different ingredients, or these are the different components that are contained in the yolk of the egg. So we know how the eggs would look. So the outer part would be having a particular use. Similarly, the inner part of the egg, which could be used for cooking, is having a different use. Similarly, meat is obtained as the flesh from the animals, and it is of two types, red meat and the white meat. So we have red meat and white meat. The meat of cow, goat, sheep and pigs has a lot of fat. Means what? Red meat is what which is containing a larger fat content, and the meat from these particular animals is called the red meat. This is how the red meat would be looking. Similarly, the white meat obtained from chicken and fish. So this contains less fat and it is obtained from these particular kind of animals. So if you look here, chicken and fish, so these are the two main sources of white meat, that is they are having lesser fat content. So what is the main basic difference between red meat and a white meat? Red meat is having lot of fat content while white meat would be having lesser fat content. So white meat, we consider it as healthier compared to red meat, and it can be easily digested as compared to the red meat. So depending on the fat content, having a lesser fat content makes white meat more easily digested compared to red meat. So meat is rich in proteins. So what are the excess benefits of meat? Proteins are available in meat. Similarly, vitamins are available in the meat. Proteins, vitamins, zinc and phosphorus, iron. So these are the 5 important components that are available in the meat. That is, meat is a rich source of proteins, vitamins, zinc, phosphorus and iron. So edible parts of a plant. We have seen what are the edible parts of a plant. So we should know that there are more than 3 lakh species, more than 3 lakh edible plant species in the world, which means around 3 lakh plant species that are available in the world. The parts of these plants can be used for eating purposes, but only 300, so 300 out of 3 lakh species, but only 300 species are eaten by humans around the world, which means what? Humans, out of the 3 lakh edible plant species that are available in the world, humans generally consume 300 plant species, the parts from these 300 plant species. For example, if you have a look here, the fruits of plants, look at this, apples are the fruits of the plant that can be consumed. Cinnamon is the bark of the plant. This is having a different purpose. So what happens, to add an extra taste to the food that is prepared, we would be using the bark of the cinnamon plant. Similarly, the bulb of the garlic plant can be used for different purposes. What do we mean by bulb of a plant? The bulb of a plant is an extension of the stem, and it is the underground part of the plant which contains the entire life cycle of the plant. So most of the nutrients are stored in this, and during the dormancy of the plant, what happens? The nutrients are internally supplied by the bulb of the plant. So garlic is the bulb of the garlic plant, and the bulb, this garlic, when we consume, it provides us with various kinds of vitamins and nutrients. And garlic mainly is used to detoxify the body, and then it has a additional benefit of helping the humans to reduce their weight. Similarly, the roots of the carrot plant can be taken as the edible parts of the plant. So the roots of this carrot plant, they can be consumed, and this would be the rich source of vitamin A of the plants. So in this particular lecture, we have discussed what is food, what are the different ingredients that we use to prepare food, and how do we obtain the different food items, that is, what are the food items that are obtained from plants. So plants as sources of food, animals as sources of food, and then what do we mean by edible parts of a plant. With this, we would be winding up the lecture. Thank you and Sai Ram.